Alright, so this is my situation with the weighted apparel currently. So I'm doing the ankle weights and my adjustable upper body vest. So I was doing the fixed weight vest and I had a weighted belt. But as you just saw today, it was 238. That's actually a 3-pound loss from the last weigh-in, which was yesterday. And it's just becoming impractical to have all the weight on my waist because this was a 12-pound fixed vest that I was wearing here. And then the waist one goes up to 20 and the ankles go up to 10 each. So I want the weight to be as evenly distributed as I can. I would probably prefer to not be centered around my waist. It's just more practical that way. This isn't too bad. I just don't like necessarily too much pressure on my chest. The reason I'm probably wearing so much weight is because I started from such a high body weight so far away from my competition weight. I mean, look, I've lost 35 pounds, or not 35 pounds. I've lost so far, started at 285 at my heaviest. So I've lost over the course of 20 plus weeks, I've lost over 47 pounds, almost 50 pounds. So that was probably much further than I should have been. I should be much closer in range as far as competition in the future, but you know, it's not too big of a deal. Alright, so right now I'm just cutting up my veggies for the day. I usually, given the new schedule and not having to work, I'm prepping all my food before my day starts. So I have to drive down to Morgan Hill, which is a city south of where I live, to train. So I'm bringing all my food with me. So right now I'm just doing bell pepper, zucchini, and spinach. So it's about 6:30 a.m. This is going to be my first meal of the day. I've been up since 5. So we have 6.5 ounces of bison. Recently, my coach Flex Wheeler added in 3 grams of protein per meal, which is about a half an ounce per meal. I'm assuming because my body weight is getting lower, my protein demands are a little bit higher. I'm still probably closer to like 1.1, 1.2 grams per pound. Nothing too crazy. Veggies that is cooked. I'm doing oatmeal. If you follow me on Instagram, there's a post that I did about why I'm picking specific things. They mostly give me macros. Obviously, I still follow the vertical diet, so I'm still eating red meat. Oatmeal, sometimes I'll do overnight oats and let it ferment in the fridge, so it's a little bit better to digest. But since the volume is so low, I'm okay with this small amount of oatmeal. But I picked this over white rice because of the satiety. Same thing with banana. Not necessarily vertical friendly per se, but they don't cause me any digestive distress, so I'm not worried. And then, so I'm using those carbs for that reason. And then I have the patty whole, so I have to cut it. And that just makes me take my time to eat my food. So that's some of the strategies that I employ when I'm dieting and I'm getting leaner and leaner. And then obviously coffee as well. I know that another non-vertical friendly thing, but I just make sure I replace my electrolytes if I drink some, especially when the carbs are really low. It's nice to have something artificial to kind of keep you going. And then just my cranberry juice with water. Alright, so I just finished up breakfast. Before I go on my 10-minute walk, I wanted to kind of talk about the current state of things, where I'm at in prep, and what the situation is with that, given the whole coronavirus stuff that's going on. Since the last video I did, the last day in the life, my food hasn't changed, which has been pretty typical prepping with Flex Wheeler and stand efforting. I've just been adding weight to the vest, like I mentioned. And I think in that video I mentioned that I was doing low carb. I'm actually carb cycling. I we did that because I started going hypo a lot because of having my blood glucose really low. That's something that's typical of myself. I think I've given myself hypoglycemia after years and I mean, over 10 years of bodybuilding style dieting, eating very frequently. So if I don't eat on that 2 to 3 hour mark, my blood sugar drops, and sometimes it's in really inconvenient times, like say I'm about to go train or I'm driving a car or something. So he said, let's do carb cycling. So that way I'm kind of going low for a couple of days, but then replenishing my glycogen stores. And it's been working pretty well. So we've just been doing that. So I do 3 low days at 100 grams of carbs and then 1 high day at 300. I thought the 300 would be a nice break, but man, it makes me really, really fucking hungry. So it's nice to have the carbs, but at the same time, it's like I almost would rather go low straight through because of, or take those carbs and distribute them because of how hungry it makes me. But honestly, I've noticed that the nights that I'm the most hungriest, I wake up the leanest in the morning. So, it is what it is. So as far as the prep goes, basically, I mean, my original show has been canceled at this point, and I'm sure that's apparent to anybody who's in the bodybuilding industry. Most shows within now a 2 month proximity, at least, have been canceled. So most shows have been pushed at least to June, if not July plus, and a lot of the pro shows are now like in the fall. So I was going to try to do the Cal. Originally I was going to do the Contra Costa. I was going to try to do the Cal, which was supposed to be a week after the Contra Costa, so I would have only been now 7 weeks out, instead of 6 from the Contra. They pushed that back a month. So I think right now I'm just kind of taking it day to day. I would ultimately like to do that show, but it really just depends on how I'm looking, how I'm feeling, and obviously money is an issue too, because I am not able to work currently, given the circumstances. My place of work is closed because it's technically a non-essential business. So I'm just taking it day to day. I think it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. I mentioned this in an Instagram video that I did, but I don't think it would make a whole lot of sense to do a 6 month plus long prep as an amateur. I think it would make more sense to just start getting ready for the next year. It's really unfortunate. It sucks really bad because those of you who have been following me for a while know that my last prep actually got cut short, and I wasn't able to step on stage due to health complications. And now we got this year, so it's pretty frustrating. I mean, over my 10-year span of bodybuilding training, I've only been able to step on stage one time. At the end of the day, it's not that big a deal to me. I'm gonna get to where I want to go regardless. This show was specifically just to get experience. I have purposely chosen to not compete a lot as an amateur because my goal is just to be professional. And, I think I'm finally slowly getting towards that. I still think I got some work to do. So I'm not really concerned about it. It would have been really cool to see my friends and family and have them come out too. But, there's bigger things at play right now, so I can't get too caught up in it. Basically, my goal ultimately right now is just to finish out the 6 weeks of dieting, just to prove that to myself that I can do it. Because even though the circumstances of the last prep were unforeseeable to me, and there's some things there that I probably will get into in the future, but don't want to really talk about right now because I don't want to put that in a negative space. But I still tend to blame myself for the mistakes that occurred in that prep. And I just need to do this diet to prove to myself that I still have it. So yeah, I'm going to complete most of the 6 weeks. We'll see how I'm looking. The only thing I'm concerned about is potentially losing muscle mass, and it doesn't make sense to be in a really hard deficit if I am losing muscle mass and I can't train the way I would like to. So I'm just playing it by ear. At the end of the day, I do bodybuilding for myself mostly. it has been really cool to communicate with people and communicate with people and give my experiences and my knowledge out, and in hopes that I can help somebody. But my ultimately my passion of bodybuilding is for myself, first and foremost, and it's what makes me happy. So just doing it, I'm already so excited to see what I'm going to look like in 6 weeks, and I'm excited. I have plans for the off season that I think are going to push me to a place that I've never been before, and I'm really excited about those things, and that's what it's really all about. I think the stage will always be there, and the stage will be there at a more critical time in my bodybuilding career, I believe. Whereas right now it's really not. It's a hobby, and I have to treat it like such and be realistic and not spend 6 months in a deficit and upwards of thousands of dollars just to get on an amateur stage. So yeah, I mean, that's how things are going. One thing I would like to also mention is how easy of a prep this has been. Like I mentioned, I think we've had 2 real diet adjustments this whole prep, and I continue to lose weight. I have not done any steady state cardio. I have not stepped foot on a treadmill or a Stairmaster, other than maybe to make up for a 10-minute walk. All I've been doing is my 3 10-minute walks and trying to stay active throughout the day. I've been doing the vertical diet for my diet. I feel amazing. My energy has been great. That's another reason why it sucks so bad, is because things are going so well. This is Stan and Flex are both very knowledgeable people, and they do things differently than the whole industry of bodybuilding practices, and they do things the way that they work, and it's going to be a real bummer to not step on stage this year, because I really wanted to shed some light on the people who still do the really low fat diets and the lack of micronutrient diets and the 3 hours of cardio and 3 hours of training or whatever. I mean, this is a step in a complete 180 from when I was doing my last prep, and my hunger signaling has not been nearly as bad. My energy has been amazing, and I think that's how it should be. You should be functioning well, except for maybe the last week or two when you're really depleted. So, yeah, I mean, I would like to shed more light on that and go into more detail. I'll probably do a whole video talking about my whole experience after all this is over. But basically, that's the situation right now. And, I'm just trying to stay positive. I've taken a lot out of this situation. It's been really awesome to be a full-time bodybuilder and live the life. This is where I want to be in a couple of years. This is the lifestyle I want to live, is, helping people and being able to train when I need to, eat when I need to, be financially free, being able to educate myself more and have time for that. It's really motivating me to step in that direction, and hopefully I can help more people because of that, if I can become independent in the next couple of years. So yeah, that's how things are going. I'll just show you the rest of my day. All right, you already know what it is. This is my first 10-minute walk of the day. Man, this is so much nicer than having to do 2 hours of cardio on the stairs without any food in my stomach. So I'm gonna get this over with. Appreciate the great weather out. All right, so here I have my second meal. Another piece of top sirloin steak, 6.5 ounces, carrots, and then I'm drinking some chicken stock and eating an apple as well for some fruit. All right, so I'm here in my parents' garage. I'm about to do my AM portion of my workout. So I just want to show you the setup that I've been rocking with, that I've been training in their garage. I showed the workout equipment in another video, but basically I just have bands and some free weights, some dumbbells, and a bar. I'm just talking about the setup as far as my split and my logging and everything. I was on an Instagram live the other day, but this is basically what I'm logging in between sets. Right now I am doing a full body routine. I just typed it up last week, and I've been doing it mostly because of the practicality of the situation. So I found it really hard to do. With the limited weight, I'm doing higher and higher amounts of repetitions, and I found it impractical to be doing 30 reps for 5 sets for one exercise for legs, and then going on to another for another 30 reps. It makes more sense in this situation to really not get as fatigued by distributing my leg workouts and all my other workouts amongst multiple workouts, so I don't get really exhausted and then maybe say here like my calves suffer because I'm really tired from this lift here. So in between sets, I'm going to be logging my numbers that I got this week. Say for a hamstring curl, for example, we'll try to be doing maybe 12 reps across the board. And then I'm timing in between. I'm supersetting 2 things at a time, and I'm timing 1 minute in between. So I kind of keep my heart rate up, keep the calories burning and whatnot. All right, so I'm doing my second 10-minute walk now after my first workout in posing. Sometimes I'll do it after my meal, but my blood sugar tends to drop after I work out, so I want to get the walk over with and then go and eat after that. All right, so here I have my third meal of the day, my first post-workout meal. So I have, it's actually a half cup of the Bibigo rice, which is about 35 carbs, and then bison, chicken stock, and some veggies. And then thermotabs, I'm gonna do 3 of those, and a sugar-free beverage as well. All right, so this is gonna be my 5th meal, just 6.5 ounces of top sirloin and some more veggies. This is before my second workout of the day, and I apologize, I forgot to show my previous meal number 4, but it was 7.5 ounces of chicken breast. third 10-minute walk of the day. This is after my second workout of the day. I've been trying to get the walks done earlier in the day just in case I crash out really early, which has been happening. Just my energy's been pretty low at night, so yeah, I'm just trying to get them done earlier and earlier in the day, just in case I just can't get it done. All right, so I've been watching a lot of the cooking videos in my free time. I usually do this in prep at some point where I just get really hungry, and so I watch people cook. But I saw someone doing Gordon Ramsay's soft scrambled eggs. So that's what I've been doing with my last egg meal. So you put it on a low medium heat, and you just keep stirring your eggs. And I threw in some cilantro, but salt and pepper as well. Even if there is no cheese, they still come out pretty creamy. So, all right, so here we have my sixth and final meal. We're doing 3.5 ounces of bison, whole eggs, 2 whole eggs and some egg whites, and then sauteed spinach as well. And then I do 2/3 cups of yogurt, Greek yogurt, 2%, with a little bit of Splenda and pumpkin pie spice as well. All right, guys, so that's my day in the life currently. Hope this gave you some insight and maybe some ideas regarding like training during this time that we can't go to the gym. I apologize if I wasn't super thorough. I am pretty tired from the diet. It's starting to kind of catch up with me here. It's kind of why I'm shutting down my day right now at like 7 o'clock. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button if you want to see more of these types of videos, and subscribe as well. And I do have links for the Vertical Diet 3.0, which I use to construct my diet in all of these videos that you see. That link is down in the description. And also, too, if you're having a hard time getting access to food, I do have a link for a Vertical Diet meal prep in the description below. They are taking extra precaution given the COVID-19 situation, and there is information about that on the website as well. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Keep in touch, keep your head up during these tough times, and I'll catch you next time.